Hi guys.
Well, hey, how are you doing?
Good, Nicola. How are you?
I'm really great and so delighted that you're with us for the next in the series of QCT in Conversation.
Was there a good reception after the last conversation that we had?
The reception was really positive. Young people really appreciated that we had the conversation because the matters that we discussed really matter to them.
Mike sent us a really sweet letter as well, and we love that conversation.
This is a conversation about using digital, the online world for good. And we have the very best people in the world to talk to this, who have been in the online world for a very long time, creating the most extraordinary communities and doing the most amazing work. I have the privilege to be the Chief Executive of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, having an awesome ride, bringing to life a platform where young people's voices are heard, their ideas taken seriously, pumping out, transmitting into the world all the time, positivity, optimism, grace, goodness, what people can do rather than what they can't.
Nicola, your energy is awesome. I think the work that you're doing is anything but lofty.
Yeah.
Let's just be clear on that. It is such important work, and certainly given how long ago you started it, and to see where we are now. Obviously, the space online and everyone's mental and emotional well-being are perhaps more fragile than ever before, certainly with COVID and our dependability on our devices right now. In the absence of human interaction, people are going online more than ever before to feel community. And unfortunately, which you rightly point out, when that community becomes divisive, when that community isn't a pack for good, but is a pack of people ganging up on one another. I think what's challenging about that is that people don't feel an escape, and it can probably feel very lonely in that space. So the work that you're doing is vital because it's just about people knowing their worth and equally not sharing it, right? Not becoming part of the culture of saying, this is so horrible, and sharing it. It was horrible. Stop it right there. And I think that is what is a really key piece of the puzzle there. But I commend you on the work you're doing. I think it's so key, especially for young women, young men as well. But I've been sensitive to what young girls must experience right now in a really large way in the online space.
Yeah, that's an absolutely genius segue to V and positive communities.
So many people probably not on the fringes, but in the sort of the negative parts of social media. And then when they find something like your platform, it's like, this is the escape that I've been looking for. Yeah. This is the positivity. This is the community.
And I think that's what's so key too, is as we talk about positivity and optimism and what a healthy online community looks like, it's not an echo chamber. It's not about everyone being in agreement all the time, but being able to have a healthy discourse, being able to disagree. That is so key. It's not trying to build utopia. It's trying to build a healthy community so that people feel safe, heard, and perhaps walk away with a different perspective that they hadn't encountered or experienced or thought at the onset, but that they have that interaction. That's what's so important. That's what this life is all about, right? Learning every day. But if you don't feel that you're in a place that's safe enough to express those thoughts and to be heard and supported in a way that is actually beneficial for us as a community, then where does that leave us? So what you're creating is, I think, in many ways, part of the antidote that we often talk about. This isn't for lack of desire that it's not out there. This is for lack of it being built. And so you guys out there doing the work and building what people really need is really everything. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, well said. And I love the fact that you're quoting Brené Brown and also bringing up Tristan Harris, because the two people that we absolutely adore as well. And then we know. But I think just as much as 5 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, it was like you're talking about your mental health was a sign of weakness. It's like, no, it's not. Just as much as vulnerability was supposedly a weakness, it's like, no, it's not. If we are all able to show our vulnerability, that doesn't mean that you're weak. If anything, I believe that's probably shown most of your strength. And if you're so in touch with your emotions and you know where you are on each day, well, that's a superpower. Because if everybody else is still stuck in the old way, then the new way is surely to be able to think differently and think ahead of everybody else.
And even expand it beyond your mental health. It's so much bigger than that. The holistic approach, it's not just what's going on in your head. What's going on in here. It's people really acknowledging you're having an entire experience as a human being, and it's not just going to be what's going on in your head. It's a fully fledged emotional experience. And so that's why we really focus on, especially in the digital space, the emotional well-being that you speak of, because it's that's going to be the way that we all get through any sort of crisis, but even just the day to day.
And that's it, right? It's exactly what we've all been talking about. Why not profit off compassion and empathy? right? It's definitely possible. Everyone we've spoken to says it's possible. So, you know, maybe the time has come to be able to create the antidote, to be able to create the alternative on a global scale. Because whether you're on these platforms or not, whether you're a user or not, you're still plugged into this giant global nervous system of which the happiness and the misery of the world is felt universally. Well, it certainly has uplifted me, knowing that there are so many people out there who think the same and are actually acting.
So true. And when you look at what these platforms are capable of with that reach, and what it then propels in terms of trolling, you know, the work that you are obviously in working the space of, Rosie, you can either train people to be cruel or you can train people to be kind. And it's really that simple. And I think as long as we are actively working in that space, and that, you know, people are taking responsibility for what's happening in the online spaces, that's what's really key.
Going back to all your points, I think the one sort of combining piece here is courage, right? Is despite everything that's happening, it takes a huge amount of courage for you guys to set up a community like you have, but then also for other people to stand up to hate, to stand up to disinformation, to stand up to lies. You know, we live in a world where a lot of other people are benefiting from it. But, you know, again, like, full respect to you guys, every single one of you, stamp those lies out, stamp the mistruths out, because it reaches people and communities that become incredibly confused. And again, you can feel that across the world at the moment. So,
well, I think we all know how good it feels just to be around positivity and optimism. That's what you're doing, and we need more of that. So really, really keep it up.
I just love the fact that you're also well connected as well. That's what the QCT, this is what this platform was created to bind you guys together, to use that thinking, that awareness, that self-awareness that you guys have, to be able to make the world a better place. I say you. I want to include us. I really feel as I'm way too old for a conversation.
Stop. We're not.
I know, but it's true. This is the world that you guys are going to inherit. And I'm saying you guys because I'm predicting that most of you in your late 20s, and Archie, and it's on us now. It's on all of us collectively to make the world a better place. And we are.
Thank you for all the work you're doing, and as much as we can do to support you through Queen's Commonwealth Trust, please know that we are here to lend our support.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Cheers, guys.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.